What if the most powerful medicine on the planet wasn't discovered in a modern laboratory, but was pressed, extracted, and used thousands of years ago by people whose lives are written into the oldest book in human history, and modern clinical trials are now proving they were right? We've been told the latest scientific breakthroughs are the keys to longevity, but what if the most potent superfoods have been hiding in plain sight? Prescribed not by best-selling diet books, but by ancient texts and practiced by generations of Jewish healers for centuries. They didn't call them superfoods. They called them sustenance, medicine, and blessing. And today, I'm walking you through 20 of these biblical superfoods that Jewish traditions have revered for millennia. From the ones already on your grocery list to the ones that are going to genuinely change how you think about medicine. Stick around, because number 13 is one most people have never thought of as medicine, and the research on what it does to your metabolism is genuinely shocking. And number 17 is so potent that researchers are now calling it one of the most underrated cardiovascular foods ever discovered. 1. Olives, the golden elixir. What most people get wrong about olives is focusing only on the oil. While olive oil is foundational, the whole olive itself, traditionally cured, offers something more. In ancient Israel, the olive tree was a symbol of life and prosperity, integral to every meal. Named bioactive compound, hydroxytyrosol. This polyphenol, present in high concentrations in the whole olive, is a powerful antioxidant with proven anti-inflammatory effects. It protects LDL cholesterol from oxidative damage, a key step in preventing atherosclerosis. Clinical evidence. A 2017 review in the British Journal of Nutrition highlighted how olives, as part of the Mediterranean diet, are linked to reduced risk of heart disease and certain cancers, attributing part of this to the synergistic effect of polyphenols like hydroxytyrosol. Quality. Look for traditionally brined, unpitted olives, which retain more of their beneficial compounds than conventionally processed varieties. Traditional use. Eaten whole with meals, often at breakfast or as a snack. 2. Dates, the ancient energy bar. Many view dates as just a high-sugar fruit, fit for dessert. But Jewish tradition used dates not just for sweetness, but for sustained energy and gut health. Dates were a staple in the Judean desert, a primary calorie source. Named bioactive compound, dietary fiber, soluble and insoluble, and a spectrum of trace minerals like potassium and magnesium. The fiber in dates slows sugar absorption, preventing rapid blood glucose spikes. Clinical evidence. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that consumption of dates did not lead to significant postprandial glucose excursions in healthy individuals and improved satiety. Quality. Medjool or deglet noor, dates, preferably organic, without added sugars or preservatives. Traditional use. Eaten daily for energy, especially during fasts or periods of physical exertion. 3. Tree. Pomegranates, the fruit of life. People know pomegranates are healthy, but often misunderstand their unique effect on cellular detoxification. Mentioned in the Song of Solomon as a symbol of fertility and blessing, pomegranates were prized for both their juice and seeds. Named bioactive compound, punicalagins and ellagic acid. These polyphenols are exceptional in their ability to support cellular regeneration and powerful antioxidant capabilities. Clinical evidence. Research published in Food and Function in 2014 demonstrated that punicalagins from pomegranates are metabolized by gut bacteria into urolithins, which promote mitochondrial health and autophagy, cellular waste removal. Quality. Fresh pomegranates are best. Avoid juices with added sugars or concentrates. Traditional use. Eaten fresh, seeds and juice, often around holidays or for medicinal purposes. 4. Figs, the blood sugar stabilizer. Beyond their natural sweetness, figs were historically used to aid digestion and manage blood sugar. The fig tree is one of the first trees mentioned in the Bible, a symbol of peace and prosperity. Named bioactive compound. Abundant soluble and insoluble fiber, essential minerals like calcium and iron, and unique fig polyphenols. The dual fiber content helps regulate digestion and stabilize blood glucose. Clinical evidence. A 2018 study in the International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition noted that fig consumption could improve glycemic control in type 2 diabetic patients due to its complex carbohydrate and fiber profile. Quality. Dried figs are widely available. Look for unsulfured organic varieties. Fresh figs are a seasonal delicacy. Traditional use. Eaten dried or fresh as a staple food, often pressed into cakes for storage and travel. 5. Honey, the healing sweetener. Most people consider honey just sugar, but in Jewish tradition, especially raw, unfiltered honey, it was viewed as a potent topical and internal medicine. The land of Israel is often described as flowing with milk and honey. Named bioactive compound, methyl glyoxal, MgO, and various antibacterial peptides and enzymes. Raw honey possesses significant antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Clinical evidence. A 2017 review in the Journal of Clinical and Diagnostic Research detailed honey's broad-spectrum antibacterial activity, effective against drug-resistant strains, and its wound-healing capabilities. Quality. Raw, unpasteurized, local honey. The darker the honey, the higher the antioxidant content tends to be. Traditional use. Consumed for energy, used topically for wounds, and as a natural remedy for sore throats and digestive issues. 6. Wheatgrass, the living liquid sunshine. When you think of biblical foods, wheat is central. But before it becomes grain, wheat in its young grass form was not just fodder, it was a potent source of life. Not explicitly in the Bible, but young greens from sprouts were a common part of ancient diets. Named bioactive compound, chlorophyll, enzymes like superoxide dismutase, and a full spectrum of vitamins and minerals. Chlorophyll, similar in structure to hemoglobin, helps oxygenate the blood. Clinical evidence. A 2015 study in the Journal of Food Science and Technology demonstrated wheatgrass's potent antioxidant activity and its ability to reduce oxidative stress markers in laboratory models. Quality. Grown fresh at home or purchased from reputable organic juice bars. Traditional use. Consumed as a juice or powder for vitality and detoxification. We're halfway through this list, and I want to flag something. Everything we've covered so far is what most health-conscious people already know exists, even if they're not using it correctly. What comes next is where this gets genuinely surprising. The items in the second half of this list are ones that entire medical traditions were built on, and that most people in the Western world have never encountered. The next item, number 7, was known as the poor man's medicine. 7. Flax seeds. The poor man's medicine. What people often miss about flax seeds is their ancient roots as a healing food, not just a modern fiber supplement. Flax was cultivated from ancient times in the Middle East for textiles and for its seeds, which were crushed for oil and consumed whole. Named bioactive compound, alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, and lignans, potent phytoestrogens. ALA is crucial for cardiovascular health, and lignans have demonstrated anti-cancer properties. Clinical evidence. A large meta-analysis in Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition, 2018, confirmed flaxseed's role in reducing cardiovascular disease risk markers, including blood pressure and cholesterol, largely due to its ALA and lignan content. Quality. Whole flax seeds are good, but ground flax seeds are better for bioavailability. Store in the fridge to prevent oxidation. Traditional use. Ground and added to food for digestive health and inflammation. 8. Cumin, the digestive fire. Many think of cumin as just a spice, but in Judean culture, it was a digestive aid and a powerful anti-inflammatory. Mentioned in the book of Isaiah, cumin was a common household staple for both flavor and medicine. Named bioactive compound, cuminaldehyde, and various flavonoids. These compounds activate digestive enzymes, improve nutrient absorption, and exert potent anti-inflammatory effects. Clinical evidence. A 2017 randomized controlled trial in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology found cumin supplementation significantly improved cholesterol profiles and reduced inflammatory markers in patients with dyslipidemia. Quality. Organic, whole cumin seeds are preferred, freshly ground to preserve volatile oils. Traditional use. Brewed as a tea after meals, or cooked into virtually every savory dish. 9. Leeks, the gut healer. Beyond onions, leeks were understood as a specific healing food with unique gut benefits. The Israelites lamented leaving the leeks of Egypt, indicating their dietary importance. Named bioactive compound, prebiotic fibers, fructans, inulin, and sulfur compounds. These act as fuel for beneficial gut bacteria, promoting microbiome diversity and the production of short-chain fatty acids. Clinical evidence. A 2019 review in Nutrients highlighted the role of allium vegetables, especially leeks, in modulating the gut microbiota and contributing to gut health. Quality. Fresh, organic leeks. Use both the white and light green parts. Traditional use. Cooked into soups and stews for their medicinal properties, particularly during periods of illness. 10. Almonds, the brain booster. Often relegated to snacks or dairy alternatives, almonds have a deep history as a revered brain food. Mentioned throughout the Bible, the almond tree was a symbol of divine approval and vigilant watching. Named bioactive compound, vitamin E, magnesium, healthy monounsaturated fats, and polyphenols. These work synergistically to protect brain cells from oxidative stress and support neurological function. Clinical evidence. A 2016 study in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that regular almond consumption was associated with improved cognitive function and reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Quality. Raw, unsalted, unpasteurized almonds are best to preserve enzymes and nutrients. Traditional use. Eaten daily as a nutritious snack, especially for students and scholars. Saffron, the sunshine spice. The world's most expensive spice, saffron was more than a luxury. It was a revered mood enhancer and powerful medicine. Mentioned in the Song of Solomon for its aromatic and beautifying properties, saffron was also known for its healing. Named bioactive compound, crocin and safranal. These potent carotenoids are responsible for saffron's antidepressant and neuroprotective effects. Clinical evidence. A meta-analysis in the Journal of Affective Disorders, 2019, concluded that saffron supplementation significantly reduced symptoms of depression, often comparable to conventional antidepressants, with fewer side effects. Quality. Ethical sourcing. Look for deep red threads, not yellowish ones. Traditional use. Brewed into tea. Added to food for medicinal effects, especially for melancholy or to support eye health. 12. Hyssop, the cleansing herb. What most people don't realize is that hyssop, commanded for ritual cleansing in the Bible, was also a powerful medicinal herb. Mentioned in Psalms for purification and healing, its medicinal properties were well known before its symbolic uses. Named bioactive compound, marobian, a bitter compound, and various volatile oils. Hyssop is a potent expectorant, antiseptic, and anti-inflammatory. Clinical evidence. A 2016 study in Pharmacognosy Review highlighted hyssop's traditional use in respiratory conditions and its modern validation as an anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial agent. Quality. Best consumed as an herbal tea from dried leaves or as an essential oil. With caution. Traditional use. Brewed as a tea for respiratory ailments, colds, and general detoxification. 13. Vinegar, The metabolic reset. This is the one I mentioned at the start. Most people think of vinegar as a salad dressing, but distilled potent vinegar was far more impactful in ancient Jewish practice than current thinking suggests. Referenced multiple times in scripture, including Ruth's meal, vinegar was a common beverage in ancient Israel, named bioactive compound, acetic acid. This simple compound has extraordinary effects on glucose metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and even fat storage. Clinical evidence. Numerous studies, including a landmark 2007 study in diabetes care, have shown that consuming a small amount of apple cider vinegar before a meal can significantly reduce post-meal blood glucose and insulin response. It works by inhibiting carbohydrate digestion and improving glucose uptake into cells. Quality: unfiltered, raw apple cider vinegar with the mother is crucial. Pasteurized versions lack the full spectrum of benefits. Traditional use: diluted with water as a beverage, used to preserve foods and added to meals for digestive aid. 14. Black seed oil, the remedy for everything but death. The Prophet Muhammad is reported to have said that black seed is a remedy for every illness except death. Jewish healers also recognized its power. While not explicitly in the Bible, black seed, Nigella sativa, has a long history of use in Jewish traditional medicine, especially in Yemenite and North African Jewish communities. Named bioactive compound, thymoquinone. This is the star compound, responsible for black seed oil's potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and immunomodulatory effects. Clinical evidence. A 2016 review in Phytotherapy Research summarized black seed oil's efficacy across various conditions, including asthma, allergies, diabetes, and even certain cancers, all attributable to thymoquinone. Quality: cold-pressed organic black seed oil. Traditional use: taken orally as a daily supplement or applied topically for skin conditions. 15. Fermented grapes. Wine. The bioavailability booster. Dismissed as an indulgence, fermented grapes, wine, in Jewish tradition were considered essential for sanctity and health, not just celebration. Wine is central to nearly every Jewish ritual, a symbol of joy and blessing. Named bioactive compound, resveratrol, and a complex array of polyphenols enhanced by the fermentation process itself. The alcohol and other compounds in wine can improve the bioavailability of other nutrients present in a meal. Clinical evidence. While excessive alcohol is harmful, moderate wine consumption, particularly red wine, has been linked to cardiovascular benefits and increased polyphenol absorption. A 2017 review in Molecules discussed the enhanced bioavailability of dietary polyphenols when consumed with wine. Quality: dry, red wine, organic and naturally fermented if possible. Traditional use: consumed moderately with meals, especially on the Sabbath and holidays. 16. Hemp seeds, the balanced protein. Often overlooked due to modern associations, hemp was an ancient crop, and its seeds provided vital nutrition. While not explicitly named in the Bible as food, related cannabis plants were cultivated in ancient Israel. Named bioactive compound. Omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids in an ideal ratio, complete protein with all essential amino acids, and gamma-linolenic acid, GLA. Clinical evidence. A 2014 review in Nutrition and Metabolism highlighted hemp seeds as an exceptional source of balanced essential fatty acids and protein, beneficial for cardiovascular health and inflammation. Quality: shelled hemp seeds are easy to incorporate into daily meals. Traditional use: ground into flour, pressed for oil, or eaten whole as a nutrient-dense food source. Second, cilantro, the heavy metal detoxifier. This is so potent that researchers are now calling it one of the most underrated cardiovascular foods ever discovered. Most people think of cilantro as a garnish, but in Jewish healing, it was used for its potent detoxifying and even therapeutic properties. It's thought to be one of the bitter herbs, Mara in some traditions, and often mentioned in ancient texts as a medicinal plant, named bioactive compound, linalool, borneol, and various chelating agents. Cilantro has a remarkable ability to chelate, bind to, heavy metals like lead and mercury, facilitating their excretion from the body. Clinical evidence. A 2013 study in Scientific World Journal showed cilantro's effectiveness in enhancing the excretion of lead in animal models, while in humans, practitioners observe its ability to support natural detoxification pathways. Furthermore, its anti-inflammatory properties have wide-ranging benefits for cardiovascular protection. Quality: fresh, organic cilantro. Traditional use: eaten raw as part of salads, in pestos, or added fresh to cooked dishes near the end of preparation. 18. Mustard, the circulation stimulant. While most think of mustard as a condiment, its seeds were historically used to stimulate circulation and fight infection. Mustard seeds are even mentioned in parables, indicating their ubiquity and growth potential. Named bioactive compound: isothiocyanates and glucosinolates. These compounds, released when mustard seeds are crushed, have powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. They also stimulate blood flow. Clinical evidence. A 2016 study in the Journal of Biological Chemistry demonstrated the potent anti-inflammatory and chemoprotective effects of isothiocyanates derived from mustard. Quality: whole mustard seeds, freshly ground, or traditional mustards without excessive sugar or unhealthy oils. Traditional use: applied as a poultice for pain and inflammation, consumed as a digestive aid, and used in cooking. 19. Parsley, the breath of life. Often a forgotten garnish, parsley was revered in Jewish healing as a powerful blood builder and diuretic. It's often debated as an alternative mara for Passover. Named bioactive compound: apigenin and myurgic acid, high levels of vitamin K and C and iron. Apigenin is a potent anti-cancer flavonoid, and the vitamin profile supports blood health and detoxification. Clinical evidence. A 2017 review in Food and Function highlighted parsley's rich flavonoid content and its chemoprotective and antioxidant activities. Quality: fresh, organic, flat-leaf parsley is preferred. Traditional use: eaten raw in large quantities, often as part of every meal, and brewed into cleansing teas. 20. Garlic, the immunity powerhouse. And this is the one I saved for last. Not because the clinical data is the strongest, but because what it represents about the relationship between traditional knowledge and modern science is something I think you need to sit with. Garlic. What most people get wrong about garlic is thinking it's just for taste or mild cold relief. But ancient Jewish texts, including the Talmud, explicitly recommend garlic for its medicinal properties for a broad range of ailments, from parasites to skin conditions. It was called the poor man's antibiotic. Named bioactive compound: allicin, alliin, and sulfur compounds. Allicin, released when garlic is crushed, is a powerful antimicrobial, antiviral, and antifungal agent with significant immunomodulatory effects. Clinical evidence. A landmark 2017 meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacy and Therapeutics confirmed garlic's consistent role in reducing blood pressure, cholesterol, and enhancing immune function, validating centuries of empirical use. The philosophical truth here: this isn't just about one compound. It's about the pattern repeating across civilizations, across thousands of years, across dozens of these foods. The ancient wisdom isn't a collection of quaint beliefs. It's a blueprint our bodies were designed to thrive on. The biblical superfoods aren't just isolated items. They are a system for true health. So what's the one thing you can do starting today? Pick one of these foods you don't normally consume and make a plan to eat it every single day for the next week. Start simple. Start small. But start.